Hey YouTube, what up? So I've been playing MCoC for a lot now, and I also wanted to revive my channel, which was dead for over 3 years now. I didn't count the exact time. So, for the grand opening, or the grand revival of my channel, you would say, let's talk about the best picks to clear the Labyrinth of Legends on MCoC April 2018. Even if you didn't know, though you would have guessed by my squad right here by now, Starboy is the #1 pick for the Labyrinth of Legends. His easy and fast build-up makes him also the fastest candidate available too, even though the Mark of the Labyrinth caps his maximum damage from especially level 2 at 50k, his shock damage is still increased by your combo meter, up to 400 of course. His main problem is that his utility kinda sucks. The risk of power draining and heal blocking the enemy is not something you really want for most matchups. But his level 2 also gets people shocked and armor break, so it's still cool and all, and makes him the god of the labyrinth. Start Spider-Man Rise Up and shakes the cake. Even if you don't enjoy building 10 poise charges at the start of the fight, it's pretty much vital. Getting bonus attack that easy makes him good too, but his best part is the taunt mechanic, which saves lots of time. Odd at the enrage timer. His damage cap may not be as high as the Starboy, but he's definitely amazing. His best part is that increased, how many is that? 10 times the 250 attack at the start of the fight with literally none effort at all. So for the #3 pick, Angela Rise Up, and I know it's pretty much controversial to what anyone would say, but also using a 3-star on the Labyrinth would pretty much knock you out instantly. Uh, Her being Suicide Masteries friendly and her amazingly easy snowball from her level 1 makes her an incredible pick. Also, she doesn't rely on like bleeds and shocks, unlike the most of the picks on the best labyrinth options. She is still perfect, I would say. Now, for a lesser controversial pick, I would like to candidate Rumple here. Like, her ability shutdown, especially coming from her duplicate ability, is really vital for all of the fights in the labyrinth, as she can literally close the enemy's evasion, which is by standard at all enemies and the labyrinth. Uh, she kinda builds up slow and doesn't have any form of burst damage, but her level 3 armor break and it reapplying as long as the fight goes on, and also as long as the enemy bleeds, is really an incredible mechanic. Also, if you would like to go that way, the special attack wand stacks incinerates, and one bleed uh, gets consumed to reapply every single incinerate damage out up there. So you can build up like 50 incinerates and just reapply it all the time by just one bleed. So she can get a great build up there, and there's no incinerate immune enemies in the labyrinth. So yeah, she's pretty good, especially also for electro and magic kind of matchups. So for the #5 greatest option for the Labyrinth of Legends, I would like to state Hela, as she can build up Furies pretty easily, and each of the Fury gives her like 10% extra attack. Also, when paired with Thor Ragnarok, she starts the fight with 100 spirits, which extend the duration of Furies infinitely as long as spirits are available. Also, for another synergy, the revival hack, as I would like to call it, with Angela, like you can enter the labyrinth with each of your other champions, and you would have a guaranteed revival if you ever go and mess up the fight. Also, with Hela's indestructibility ability, she's just really safe, one of the safest options out there. Also, another great part of her is that her level 3 deals percentage damage, which, as you all know, the opponents at the Labyrynth have lots of health, so dealing percentage damage is really just dealing incredible damage in one tick. Also, stacking Furies and keeping them up is pretty easy. Takes a lot of time and a lot of practice too, but it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. So, her just main con is that you just have to be really aggressive, which may not be really Labyrinth friendly, but she's really amazing. So, as for number 6, I would like to candidate Proxima Midnight, the newest champion in the contest, and currently, and by everyone seeing the content creator program owners and the lucky bastards who managed to pull her from the future GMCs, her damage is like insanely high. Requires lots of skill and a really slow build up, and pretty much risky too, as you need to parry the opponent and they reduce the time of stuns each time they're parried from the limber node. It's kinda painful, but it's perfectly manageable. Also, as much as the intercepting mechanic is suicidal in the current state of the game, you have to do it if you want to clear the Labyrinth now. And yeah, she's just amazing for the Labyrinth, even though you can't just nuke down the enemy 400k each time with level 2 from the damage cap. Well, if you manage to pull her or grind her, congrats, you may just use her as well. So, for the next pick, I would like to talk about Medusa now. Well, my Medusa isn't currently duplicated, so the synergy team I build up right here is pretty much useless, but this synergy team, the Inhuman Royal Family synergy team for Medusa, makes her an incredible candidate for the Labyrinth of Legends, as she starts the fight with 25% extra boost, which, if you have Medusa up at 455 or even 565, that's a lot of attack, and the enrage timer won't be the least bit of the problem if you want to fight with her. Also, as Brian Grant told, you can get Medusa to stack 30 permanent bleeds on the opponent, even though it's pretty risky and not really efficient. You can do it and deal just incredible amounts of damage constantly without even doing anything, just by rotating level 3s, but that's our little secret. Also, her having the auto block mechanic makes her really safe too if you manage to mess up. So, yeah, she's a good pick. The reason why I haven't gotten her up really high is that uh, just the other options are better in my opinion. Maybe not as fast and not as safe, but their damage output is better. Also, they don't require unique synergies. Some people may not even have these Inhuman Royal Family as 3 stars. So, as for Morningstar, and not Hela because I just talked about her too, Morningstar is a pretty much perfect Labyrinth of Legends candidate too. Her having the special synergy with Angela to make her buffs last 20% longer. Also, Angela having the revival synergy with Hela makes her a pretty good pick. She has a really slow build-up, and if you want to get the build-up over with instantly, you have to use revives on Red Hulk on the first go. But once you get up to 5 souls, it's just destroying the Labyrinth from there, as your attacks deal energy damage and you have lifesteal, her sustain is great and all, and she's good, especially for the matchups like Groot and Old Man Logan, mainly. Also, the one of the worst of the best options out there, and the current king of the contest, Blade, comes up for number 9. Well, the Trinity synergy doesn't work on 3 stars, I realize that much, but Blade with just the Ghost Rider mainly, but I like SpiderMan too, so he's out there. Counters many of the Labyrinth's fighters, the champions out there, but definitely not all, and that's why Blade isn't really a good option. Like, he's really so bad on Old Man Logan or Colossus. Like, Stark Spider-Man would destroy that. So the reason why Stark Spider-Man is here, you can bring both Blade and Stark Spider-Man and just clear Labyrnth from entry to finish 100% all the way. And the number 10 option, X-23, comes up. Wolverine isn't an option because he isn't available as 5-star. X-23 with her reliable regeneration, even though not really that much of Wolverine, her regeneration is nothing to laugh at and keeps you alive from taking all the chip damage from blocking if you ever get to it. Also, as you have really so big of an health pool at 455, even if you get a full combo to the face, she can just heal that up during the course of the match. Also, her bleeds are really pretty good, especially if you have deep wounds. Also, her even if the enemy is bleed immune like the Colossus there, she can increase her crit damage and just be over with that too. And yeah, she's pretty much a good option, especially for her sustain. And that wraps up my list for the best champs for the Labyrinth of Legends on MCoC April 2018. Feel free to leave a comment down below if you agree or even disagree with my list. Like if you tried Winter Soldier with Killmonger synergy or something really exotic, etc. Well, please tell me about it. I'd really like to hear different opinions and have a good argument up there. Also, let me know what type of videos you'd like to see or if you enjoyed the editing and such of this video's content. It'd really help me out by a lot. Have the best of luck out there.